Today we're talking about magnitude. Magnitude is the distance between two objects. So right now I'm 8 meters away. Now I'm 6 meters away, and if I go a little bit further back, you can see it goes up to 13 meters. And orientation to this object doesn't matter. It'll always calculate the distance between me and that object. So how do we do that? Well, when world is started, we send myEvent to self. Then in myEvent, we're going to create a basic loop that happens every second. This is just so we can update our text to display the current magnitude. So we send myEvent again back with a 1 second delay, and we continue doing that. We then display with magnitude, and we're going to get into this, but it's the torso position of the player ID minus the position of object 2 as a string. Now, this seems a little more complicated than it really is. It's really quite simple. What we have here is display with text. That's found under your Actions tab. Display with text is going to allow you to display text on an object. Now, to display text on an object, it has to be a string. This script is running on our text object, so we're displaying it on self. And the part that actually matters here is magnitude of. So if we pull this out, what you're going to see is you need a vector. So there's a few different types of vectors. Vector number 1 is a position vector. So if we open up the properties menu of this sphere and go to the attributes tab, you'll see the position is 0, 0, 0. That is a vector. And it's very inaccurate. I'm not sure why it's saying that. Oh, there we go. So it looks like when you select an object, it gives you the relative position to itself. And if you unselect it, then you get world position. So this world position is a vector. And each of these objects has their own world position. If you take the position of this object and you subtract the position of this object, you now have a distance vector. And a distance vector is going to tell you how far away these two are. Now this is simple if you're on an X or a Z plane or even an up and down Y plane, but if you rotate this object all the way around, that distance will be notated on 3 different numbers. And you can't just say, is it greater than X or greater than Y? And then we can take that difference, throw it into our magnitude function, and that's what's going to give us that clean number in meters. So inside of our magnitude of, you're going to see a minus symbol. Minus can be found on the second page of the operators tab right here. And when we subtract the position of the player's torso from the position of our object that we want to track the position of, we then get the difference between the two. Now we could have kept this as position of self, but for this demonstration I wanted to have full control, so I used a separate object variable. You'll note that we're updating this player ID based on who is the most recent player to enter the world. If you're looking for the position of player, you go to your operators tab, scroll down about 6 or 7 times, you're going to find position of player. You simply drag that in here into the A slot, and then you just put your player ID inside of this player slot. You've got a drop-down menu to select torso. And now that you understand magnitude, there's endless possibilities of ways you can use this. For instance, if you need to know when a player is close to an object, if you need to know when a player is close to another player, or if you need to know which player is closer to a monster than another monster, using magnitude is going to allow you to do that. As you can tell, I'm super excited about this script. I hope this helps you get started. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!